Are cell phones distracting at church? Should youth be allowed to use their phones at church? And are there any good reasons to be on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter while at church? If you've ever wondered, should I use my cell phone while at church, then stay tuned. Hi everyone, my name is Justin, and I want to welcome you to That Christian Vlogger, a place where you get to come and join me and experience faith in the first person. On this channel, I make weekly videos aimed to help you grow in your relationship with God. To check out other videos like this one, visit us at thatchristianvlogger.com or hit that subscribe button below. Let's get started. So a few weeks ago during my church's youth group, we had a discussion revolving around cell phone use while at church. Usually most adults talk negatively about how bad this epidemic is. Everywhere they look, kids are tweeting or posting or Instagramming while at church. And I would agree with most of them. Most of the time, this is in fact a distraction to actually receiving the blessing that they came for. During this particular youth group, a girl responded about how she recognized her Facebooking while at church stopped her from communing with God in a closer way. And you know, I get where she's coming from. And I can understand how for the youth, their phones really do take away from their experience with God. But to be honest, I actually disagreed. In that youth group, I raised my hand and said exactly that. I said, to be honest, I bring my cell phone to church every single week. But not only that, I actually use my phone while I'm at church, even during the message. And yes, I'm using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter while the pastor is preaching. But I actually don't think that this is a negative thing. In fact, I would say that it actually does help me engage with the sermon more. I mean, let's be real here. As a young person in my 20s, the children's stories just aren't as engaging as they used to be. And there are in fact multiple moments throughout the service that are just flat out boring. And listen, I say this with all the respect toward my pastor or preacher friends. As someone that preaches regularly, I can relate with very real difficulties of trying to be an effective communicator, whether it's through a sermon or preaching or sharing a video like this. In fact, chances are in the first few minutes of this video, I've already lost the attention of several of you. The truth is that communicating to a group of people as diverse as a church with, the different ethnicities, backgrounds, ages, and convictions, it's a really difficult thing to do. So how exactly does this relate to cell phone usage at a church? Nowadays, the truth is that our attention spans are so much shorter than they used to be. I get it, I'm no different personally. The truth is, unless the message is insightful, relatable, or at the bare minimum entertaining, I actually do run a huge risk of falling asleep while at church. Now, here's where a lot of people get critical about people like me or other young people in the church, and they say things like, these young people just need to be converted, or they don't really love Jesus, or even the young people nowadays are just so worldly. And yes, this might actually be true for some of the people who are in church, but for just a moment, suspend your judgment and put down the haterade. You see, I can only speak for myself and my intentions, but the truth is that I never intend to go to church and fall asleep. I think that is disrespectful, rude, and inappropriate, and all other kinds of negative adjectives. I am a grown man now, and I no longer have mommy or daddy waking me up and forcing me to go to church. I'm married now, so I have Emily to do that. But seriously, if I wanted to fall asleep, I'd just simply stay home and take a nap. So every time I'm actually showing up to church, I'm really hoping to be a blessing and to receive a blessing. But here's where the problem is. Even with my intentions of communing with God, and even with my desire to learn, there are still times where I fall asleep. And if I, that Christian vlogger, a Bible teacher, a dedicated Christian, and an honest seeker of God, am falling asleep at church, then there is in fact a problem. So for me, this is where cell phone usage actually is a very helpful tool to help me stay engaged with the service. Now, I'm not saying that anything goes and that we should just allow an indiscriminately full use of cell phones during the services. But I am saying that I believe that there are responsible ways to use social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram during the service. I personally try to use social media in a way to help me stay focused on the message. I try to share quotes or nuggets, things that I glean from the message or service in general. I find that this actually helps me be more dialed in and focused during the message. And as an added bonus, it actually provides a very easy and natural way for me to share what I'm learning. You know, who knows, perhaps my family or friends weren't able to make it to church that specific weekend, and they could actually be blessed by me sharing what I'm learning. In fact, I've even seen people live stream their entire service through Facebook Live or Periscope as a way to provide opportunities for their friends to join in the service. I personally really, in fact, enjoy church services that stream online and have those little chat windows where people can respond in real time. That way, not only do I listen, but I can actually respond and ask questions as the message is going on. In fact, many of the vlogs on this channel have actually come from some type of inspiration during a church service or Bible study. When I think of a topic that would be interesting or good to share with you guys, I generally spend the slower moments of the service, brainstorming or researching additional information to share with you guys on the vlog. So here's what I'm really trying to say. Given the two options of falling asleep at church or filling those boring moments with productive and meaningful social network interaction, I will always pick being online. I believe that social media and phones, when used properly, can actually be a blessing at church rather than a curse. And of course, yes, this definitely does come with its own challenges, and yes, distractions online are just as real as distractions in real life. But I find this to, on average, help me more than it actually hurts. But what about you? What do you think? Are there ways that you try to use your phone or social media while at church? Or do you happen to find that using your phone is distracting while at church? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, if you're new to this channel, I just want to say a quick thank you for checking out this video, and I want to encourage you to see some of our other videos, and if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Until next time, I'm that Christian vlogger, and I want to encourage you to experience faith in the first person. God bless.